What's up, everybody? Welcome to Dallas Sports Episode 9. My name is Sammy HT, and today it is cold. It is unbelievably cold. I am not having fun. I have my hoodie on, I have my jacket on inside the house. It's literally freezing out there. And, might be people watching from maybe up north or if you live in the Dade County area and you've grown up here, the weather that we're experiencing right now is very uncanny. Okay, it's 54 degrees right now, and 54 degrees, maybe to compare it to what's going on around the rest of the country, is probably pretty light. And I'm sure a lot of other cities would prefer this kind of weather at this time. Me personally, if I have to deal with this weather, I'm covered up. I'm covered up. So I can't imagine across the country people like dealing with negative degree weather. This weekend it's going to hit below freezing point. It's going to be a low of 34 degrees on Sunday. Um, Not excited for that whatsoever. Not excited for that. And um, at the very least, we have the Miami Sun to battle this insane cold that I am experiencing. But to put it lightly, it hasn't been fun. Okay, it hasn't been fun dealing with this cold. Now, I guess we should get down to business, right? Today we're going to be talking about plenty of things, a jam-packed show regarding Darian Mensah and his transfer to the University of Miami, regarding Giannis and the rumors that not him wanting out, but the Bucks are listening to trade offers now. Excuse me. And then the Miami Dolphins signing offensive coordinator Bobby Slowik. So a jam-packed show, obviously. I'm very excited to talk about it. And I think the biggest topic that we should probably discuss is Darian Mensah and the University of Miami. And I know what you're thinking. How could you not talk about Giannis and the Miami Heat? First of all, I'll get more into detail when that time comes as to why I'm leaving this second. This right here that we're about to talk about was an insane saga. It was an absolute insane saga that the University of Miami and Duke were dealing with here, okay? Darian Mensah transfers to the University of Miami. A settlement was finally reached between Mensah's agency, Young Money APAA, and Duke after a week of legal battle, if you want to call it that. I guess it is. That would be what it's called, right? Legal battle. Duke decided to settle rather than wait for their court hearing scheduled today. It was scheduled today. He transferred a couple of days ago. There was a temporary restraining order set on Mensah that really prevented him from enrolling at any other school. And quite frankly, Duke could have pushed this a lot further and just had him not play at the University of Miami. But that sets a pretty bad precedent for your university if you're not preventing players from doing whatever they want. NIL right now is a mess. It is an absolute mess. It is not an ideal situation at this time. I think it's fair to say that there needs to be regulation and rules very soon. There does. Because look, as much as great as it is that Mensah is coming to the University of Miami, the concept of like contracts in college football without treating them like employees and instead treating them like student athletes, it's just not going to work out. And then you get situations like Miami coming in and snatching Duke's chain, not just one chain, but two, because they got their wide receiver, Cooper Barcade. I don't know how to pronounce his name. Let me look up how to pronounce it so that I'm not butchering it completely, because I've been saying it wrong. Somebody made fun of me for saying it weirdly. It's Cooper Barcade. Wow. Okay, so Cooper, I can't believe I pronounced it Barcate. Cooper Barcade is his name. We transferred to the University of Miami. We're going to talk about those two and their play in a second. I really do want to discuss like what Duke was trying to do here. Duke, of all schools, Duke has plenty of money, and they get their money because of their elite basketball program, okay? And they're having a great year this year. They're like the best team in the ACC, and they're probably going to make a deep tournament run. Duke has a lot of money. They've never been a football school, though. Never. This past year, Duke football had probably one of their best seasons ever. Okay, they only won 9 games, granted, but they won the ACC. They won their bowl game against Arizona State. I think in that game, Darian Mensah passed for over 300 yards and 4 touchdowns. He was electric in that game. And in a year where the ACC was relatively scrambled, Duke came out on top, and congratulations to them. Now, in fairness to Duke, Darian Mensah did put out a Instagram post saying that he was going to stay at Duke. He was going to stay at Duke. He did put out that post. And I guess to some degree, that is messed up that Darian Mensah would do something like that and then just, dip. It is messed up. It is a bit messed up. However, let's consider something here. For Duke, Duke, how far does Duke go if Darian Mensah stays? Right? How far do they go? They're going to run it back. Cool. The goal is to make the college football playoff. Cool. The roster itself isn't that great, though. And if we're being realistic, if we're being blunt here, if we're being honest, Duke, the likelihood of them running it back, because right now, it's just so scrambled, the ACC. The likelihood of the fact that they were in the ACC championship to begin with was a miracle, okay? They were going to run it back, right? Run it back to what, though? Run it back to what? What are you going to do? With the talent that is going on right now, with the talent that is right now in the current college football structure, how far do you think Duke's going to go? Is Duke going to go undefeated? Is Duke going to go undefeated in the ACC? I don't think so. They didn't go undefeated. They lost 5 games with Darian Mensah. They lost 5 games with Cooper Barcates there. They lost 5 games. The fact that they were ACC champions, I'll say it again, was insane. It made no sense. But for Darian Mensah, it makes all the sense in the world to transfer to the University of Miami. It makes all the sense in the world. Let's go down the list here. We could talk about, the money being a big thing, right? The money. Oh, it's all about the money. Let me take this hoodie off. This is unnecessary. It's all about the money, right? Let me tell you something. It's not just money that makes the University of Miami appealing, okay? Just like it's not just money that makes LSU appealing, all right? Now, LSU, granted, has money to play with, much like Miami does, and they stole 2 of Miami's, targets. Like Jordan Seaton, he was supposed to come to the U, didn't end up happening. Lane Kiffin does what he does. Sam Levitt, we wanted him to come to the U. Lane Kiffin does what he does. It is what it is. It's a money game at the end of the day. Why would Darian Mensah transfer to the U? It's quite simple. The U is going to propel him to a draft status that Duke could never do. Darian Mensah doesn't want to just have college success. He wants to go to the draft. He wants to go to the NFL. He wants to be successful. The last 2 years, the Miami Hurricanes have gotten Cam Ward and Carson Beck from the portal. And both of those 2 QBs have had their draft stock significantly increase. Now, Cam Ward's situation was different from Carson Beck's, right? Cam Ward ended up being the number 1 overall pick. Carson Beck probably won't get that same luxury at all, to be honest. He's probably going to be like a late day 2, day 3 pick. Fine. That's completely fine. It was a better draft. He's going to get drafted a lot higher than he would if he stayed at Georgia. So now Darian Mensah is looking at this and saying, well, I don't just want to win the ACC. I also want to go to the league. I can do both at the University of Miami with significantly better weapons, a significantly better offensive line, a significantly better defense, significantly better everything. You have everything to gain. If you're a transfer portal QB and you're you are great, if you come to the U, your draft stock is going to rise more. And granted, look, it's going to be very difficult for Darian Mensah to stand out in a draft class that's going to include Arch Manning, Dante Moore, Sam Levitt, etc. Right? It's going to be hard to stand out. However, what I will say is the national spotlight being on Miami is definitely going to help Mensah's case to be drafted very high. Now, Darian Mensah this past year was phenomenal. 3,973 passing yards, 34 touchdowns, 67% completion percentage, 6 interceptions only. He was phenomenal this year. He was second in the league in passing touchdowns, top 3 in the league in passing yards. He was amazing. And then on top of that, we're bringing in Cooper Barkate. Cooper Barkate is coming off back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons. His recent season, 72 catches, 1,106 yards, 7 touchdowns. That's a career high. Career high season, aside from the touchdowns. Back-to-back seasons over 1,000 yards is Cooper Barkate. And now he's going to be at the University of Miami. And the same thing that can be said about Darian Mensah can be said about Cooper Barkate as well. Look, Cooper Barkate was doing great at Duke, but guess what? Now he can get NFL notoriety at the University of Miami because that's what this is all about for these college football players. It's not just about being great in college. They want to get to the league and they want to be successful. They do. Look at all the transfers that have come from the University of Miami that benefited greatly from coming here. Not just Carson Beck, Jacoby Thomas, his draft stock shot up the ladder. Keontae Scott, same exact thing. CJ Daniels is probably looked at a lot higher, is probably getting looked at a lot more now that he went to the U than if he stayed at LSU. Maybe he would have gotten the spotlight eventually. But the U, after the run they went on, hello. My point is this. You're not going to get that notoriety at Duke. Duke had their run. They had their ACC championship run, and congratulations to them. For Darian Mensah, though, it's more than just the ACC. It's more than just about winning the ACC. It's about competing for national championships, improving his draft stock, and getting to the draft. And you're not going to get a better opportunity to do that than at the University of Miami. The Miami Hurricanes offense next year might be one of the best in the country. I already mentioned Darian Mensah. I already mentioned bringing in Cooper Barkate, but the weapons around here, Malachi Toney in year 2. We're going to get Cam Vaughn from the transfer portal, Joshua Moore in his second year, Samorian Wingo, Dalen Upshaw. There's so many names at the wide receiver. Dre Jacobs. There's so many names at the wide receiver position. At running back, all 4 running backs that were in the running back room last year are back this year, incredibly enough. Mark Fletcher, Marty Brown, Gerard Pringle, Jordan Lyle, and a bunch of other running backs coming in from the draft too. Honestly super shocked that Mark Fletcher decided to stay after the year he just had. I was almost sure he was going to go to the NFL. But he stayed. The tight end room, Elijah Lofton, Gavin Mueller, Israel Briggs. We're going to bring in a bunch of great players. And I would hope that the tight end position at the University of Miami gets back to what it usually is. I would hope. The offensive line is going to be tricky. It's going to be tricky, granted, because, 4 of the starters are gone, right? Brockermeyer, gone. Inez Cooper, gone. CeCe Maui Noah, gone. Markel Bell, gone. All 4 of those great players for the University of Miami have left to go to the draft. Congrats to them. But let me tell you, man, We're bringing in a 5-star Jackson Cantwell. We still brought in Okunlua and Mike McCoy. Jamal Merriweather was brought in from Georgia. We still got some work to do. There are definitely some tweaks we need to make to this offensive line, but you know what? We literally have Alex Mirabal and Mario Cristobal who specialize in building offensive lines. So I'm not worried about that at all. I still think it's going to be a great offensive line. The University of Miami, the expectations should be to win the ACC. That should be your floor. Winning the ACC should be your floor, and I'll go as far as to say if you don't win the ACC, you failed. That's how far I'm taking it. If you don't win the ACC this year, you failed. You failed. You did. Looking at the schedule, first of all, I think the schedule going on with the Miami Hurricanes is so flawed. It is so unbelievably flawed. I think we have like 4 weekday games. We're opening at Stanford on a Friday night. That sucks. Way to treat your national championship runner-ups. Jeez. It's an ugly schedule, but I will say that the talent on this team, with the talent that we have on this team, we're not going to have any excuses. We're not going to have any excuses. Would love for, these games to be played on Saturday, but you're not going to get – we weren't dealt a great hand, and that's just what we're going to have to deal with. Regardless, look, I'm going to keep saying it. The Miami Hurricanes should be 1,000% the favorites to win the ACC and to make the college football playoff, and we can't leave any more doubt. Because last year, even though we went all the way to the national championship, having to literally pray that the committee let us in, I don't want that to happen anymore. I think, especially with Duke getting an auto bid, which is ridiculous, by the way, with Duke getting an auto bid, we need to solidify the ACC. We need to just make it known that, hey, we're gonna win this conference. We're going to seal our fate in the college football playoff. We're gonna seal our spot in, and yeah, can't leave it in the hands of the committee. We just got to do it ourselves. And I think we will. Giannis. I'm so sick and tired of hearing Giannis' name. I'll be blunt. Giannis. Apparently the Bucks are finally listening to offers for Giannis Antetokounmpo. Shams put out the report. The Miami Heat are obviously interested, along with the Knicks and the Warriors. The trade deadline is next Thursday. Very interesting position the Miami Heat are in. The Miami Heat are coming off just yesterday a loss against the Orlando Magic. Orlando Magic is now 4-0 against us. We are the little brother right now in Florida, and that is, I never thought I'd be alive to say that the Orlando Magic own the Miami Heat. Incredible. Miami's in a rough spot right now. We are just 2 games above 500, 8th seed in the entire Eastern Conference. It's just one of those things where it's like, when does it end? Really, when does it end? And in spite of the fact that Bam has been very good these last couple of weeks, it still hasn't mattered. It just hasn't. Norman Powell has cooled off a bit. He's cooled off a lot since his very hot start in October, November, and December. January, he's had an interesting month in and out. He had a good start with his 36-point performance against Detroit. And since then, it's just been a little inconsistent. He had 22 last night, though. Let's talk about this Giannis thing, man. I'm over it. I'm so done talking. I want Giannis on the Miami Heat. Any normal Heat fan should want Giannis on the Miami Heat. Any normal Heat fan. Any normal one. My thing is that is our offer that we're going to give to Milwaukee, is it even enticing enough? Is it good enough? I don't think it is. I don't think it is. What would the offer be? I would imagine it's something within the lines of Tyler Hero, right? Tyler Hero, maybe Andrew Wiggins. I think Kel'el Ware has to be part of it. And I'll tell you why the Bucks might not even want him in just a second. It's incredible. So Hero, something of Hero, Wiggins, Ware, Hawkes, and draft capital. I assume that's what we're going to do. Now, we could throw in an expiring contract in Norman Powell, but I'm sure contenders are willing to offer a lot more for Norman Powell. I mean, I'm trying not to be negative about this, but realistically, if you're the Milwaukee Bucks, why would you do business with the Miami Heat if they're constantly going to lowball you? Seriously. The Heat just put out, I'm pretty sure I saw a tweet somewhere where the Heat wanted a similar deal that went down between Washington and Atlanta. When Trae Young went to Washington for pennies on the dollar, yeah, he wants something like that for John Morant. And in spite of the fact that maybe he might have a point, since John Morant, I don't know if he really likes it in Memphis, truly likes it in Memphis. I know he said he's like it, but he truly likes it right now. I think, look, Pat Riley has this thing where he's this whale hunter, but he's never had good bait. He's never had a sharp enough harpoon. He hasn't. And really, when you think about it, in the last 15 years, 16 years, since 2010, when LeBron James came to Miami, and then 10 years later, when Jimmy Butler came to Miami, if we're being honest with ourselves, right now, right? If we're being blunt, is Pat Riley really a great whale hunter for the Miami Heat? Or did Dwayne Wade just talk to LeBron and say, it's a no-brainer to come here, bro? Or was Dwayne Wade just really good friends with LeBron and Chris Bosh? What about with the Jimmy Butler one? Everybody likes to credit Pat Riley for that. Jimmy Butler was in Chicago, hearing from Dwayne Wade, hearing him say key culture is amazing, and Jimmy Butler bought into that. I don't think he needed Dwayne Wade, but Dwayne Wade certainly helped with his decision to want to go to a place like Miami. When was the last time Pat Riley brought in a whale? How many times have I heard about the Miami Heat being interested and it never actually materializing? How many times have I heard that? With Giannis 5 years ago or 6 years ago, when he could have been available, what happened? Nothing. When the Heat were interested in him, when the Heat were interested in KD, we decided to make Kel'el Ware untouchable. I love how that has turned out. Played 7 minutes last night. I get it, he's coming off of injury. But Nikola Jovic at center. Good. I could go on about that, but I'm not going to. Damian Lillard wanted to come here. He specifically asked for a trade to the Miami Heat. He did. He asked for a trade to the Miami Heat, and guess what? Pat Riley couldn't even get that one done. Now, obviously, some circumstances popped up, right? Joe Cronin was being a bit unfair. He was. But he still didn't get it done. Donovan Mitchell, another person, couldn't get it done. Bradley Beal. This one when Bradley Beal was really good. Couldn't get that done. It has straight up been miss after miss after miss, and now you're trying to tell me that you're going to go out and get Giannis? With what? With what? With who? Seriously. Hero hasn't played a lot this year. Just an unfortunate year for Hero and his injury luck. Khalil Ware has been in the doghouse for God knows how long before he was hurt. Hawkes Jr. is probably the only piece that has shown something this year of value. Because what the heck? Seriously, what in the heck are the are the Milwaukee Bucks going to do with an injury-prone guard like Tyler Hero? They want draft capital too, right? The Miami Heat don't have the draft capital either. They don't have more draft capital than the Warriors. They don't. They don't have as good players as the Knicks. They don't. The Miami Heat right now are swimming in a sea of mediocrity and are trying to get Giannis Antetokounmpo. And let me tell you something. I want Giannis on this team. I think he's going to make this team so much better. If he does, somehow, someway, by the grace of God, end up getting traded here. But we don't have the pieces to do it. We don't have the pieces to do it. We don't. I'm tired of pretending that I'm hearing these rumors and I'm excited. I am not. I am not excited about this. Because when I hear a stars on the trade market, I can guarantee that Pat Riley is not going to give the offer good enough to get him. I can guarantee that. I can't fathom a year in this from 2010 on. It has been year after year of hey, we're going to wait for this. Oh, we're going to wait for this free agency class. Oh, we're going to wait for that free agency class. And we're going to wait and wait and wait. And we've been waiting and waiting and waiting. And these players sign extensions. So the waiting is for no reason. Woof. Hit my chin on the mic. I'm tired of waiting. Maybe we shouldn't be so into the business of reloading if we don't have the roster. The roster isn't good enough. Maybe what is best for this entire saga of Miami Heat basketball is for us to rebuild. Just rebuild. Just rebuild. Just do it. Just do it. Get a lottery pick. Get some talent on this team. And not just a bunch of undrafted players or late first round picks. I get it. I get it. Two of our best players, Hero and Bam, were not in the lottery. I get that. I get that. But Jovic? What's with Jovic? What about Ware? You don't want to play Ware. You want to do things the hard way, the old-fashioned way. Oh, we're gonna get undrafted players. We're gonna build. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. That is not how you win. You need talent. You need talent to win in this league. And you're not playing your talented players. You're not getting talented players. Nothing is happening, and we are going nowhere every single year because of it. We are currently, at this moment in time, 23 and 25 and 23. We are in the play-in again. Where are we going right now? Where are we going? Can anybody tell me? Where are we going? And I understand, like, this is supposed to be a Giannis, like, trade topic. It's like, why should I invest so hard in a possibility that's not even going to happen likely? Why am I going to invest in that? Why? What is the point? What are we doing? What are we investing in it for? I'm trying to see what these young players can do. I'm trying to figure out what's worth keeping around next year. Because this year right now, as we're currently sitting in the 8th seed, we're not far behind the 6th seed, which is now the goal, the 6th seed. Because I don't think we're going to catch Cleveland, who's on a 5-game win streak, and they're 29-20. I'm sorry. I simply cannot do it. I simply cannot listen any longer when I see teams like the Celtics that are a 3rd seed, are a 3rd seed right now, without their best player. It's sick to I get sick to my stomach. I get sick. The Miami Heat have to make the hard decisions, and the hard decisions are letting go of players that you really like. It's time to get rid of Norman Powell. It's time to get rid of Andrew Wiggins. It's not working. We're not winning. It's that simple. We're not winning. We're not winning a championship. We're not making it to the finals. We're not. This year, we are going nowhere. And even if we somehow, by the grace of God, make it to the playoffs, yes, it'll be a success because we improved. But if we're first-round exits, what exactly is the point? Hell, if we're second-round exits, what's the point? Everybody's talking about, oh, we can make the playoffs outright now. We can make the playoffs outright with the roster we have. What is the goal? Is the goal to win championships? That's part of the culture, right? We don't have a championship level team. I'm sorry. We don't. We don't. The power of friendship can only work for so long. You need stars. And the Miami Heat right now do not have the stars. We do not. I'm frustrated talking about this team, man. Especially after last night's loss. I'm frustrated, man. I'm tired. I'm exhausted. And honestly, I'm done talking about this. I'm done talking about the Miami Heat. And I understand, it's a Giannis trade video. If we get Giannis, why should I be excited about that? We're not going to get him. We're not getting Giannis. We don't have the offer. We don't have it. I pray to God that I'm wrong, but I'm convinced. We don't have it. Pat Riley's going to lowball him. He's going to try to get him for coupons. No point. No point. Oh, my goodness. I get frustrated talking about that team, man. I almost get as frustrated talking about the Dolphins. I think it's because the Miami Heat have such high expectations. Like, the standard is so much higher in Miami. It is. In the Miami Heat, at least, in this organization. And the fact that we are so content with just doing things the hard way and just constantly being in a state of mediocrity. We are the Steelers of the NFL, man. We are, and that makes me upset. That makes me upset. Not a great place to be. At all. The Dolphins are hiring Bobby Slowik as their offensive coordinator. An interesting hire. He was the passing game coordinator for the Miami Dolphins internally. He has now been promoted to offensive coordinator by head coach Jeff Hafley. He was the offensive coordinator at Houston for 2 years, and the offense in the first year was pretty good. Then the next year was pretty average, and then he got fired. He came to the Dolphins. Didn't really do much good with the Dolphins that we've seen. And now he's the offensive coordinator for the Miami Dolphins. Not mad at the hire. I'm not mad at it. I think right now, everything that Jeff Hafley does, we're going to just have to work with it. Every decision Sully makes, we're going to have to work with it. We have no choice but to just trust whatever's going on. It's a blind trust and maybe a lot of false hope going around, but blind trust, man. Blind trust in Jeff Hafley and this front office. I will say this. There's not going to be a lot of hires or signings that I'm going to be complaining about this offseason. I have no choice but to just say we'll see what happens, because I think this year is going to be a washed year. This is not going to be the year where we start to contend. It's just not. It just isn't. I think this is the year we move off of the Tua contract completely. We're going to stink it up a bit, but that's okay. I think that this is the year where we just get in a... This year that's coming up, it's all about figuring out who are going to be the guys of the future. Kind of like what this year was. And eventually we're going to have to make payments to Devon Achane, to Jordan Brooks, Aaron Brewer. There's a lot of players that we have to start considering paying eventually. And I'd say any coaches that are hired in this cycle, really, we're not going to... We know about Bobby Slowik, but everything else is just going to be, okay. All right. Okay. He had a great interview with the guy, clearly, because he came from an organization that really didn't specialize in what he was doing there. But if I'm being blunt, Jeff Hafley's going to build the staff as he sees fit, and we're just going to have to wait for April when the draft happens. And in April, I think that's really when things start to pick up, where we officially get the vision that Sully and Hafley have for the Miami Dolphins. Again, no choice but to trust them. No choice but to put faith in them. I'm curious to see what we do with defensive coordinator. Jeff Hafley obviously is going to be calling the plays. I'm just wondering who he's going to collab with. No real motion going on. I'm sure they'll probably announce it. I think what's going on is Anthony Weaver is currently a finalist for the Arizona Cardinals coaching job, and I guess now we got to wait for that. Weaver got a lot of praise internally from the organization. He got a lot of praise from outside the organization. So him being a head coach seems like it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. Which, shout out to Coach Weaver. He's been good for us. He's had some rough starts, but he's been good for us for the most part. So we're waiting for that. We're just in a constant waiting game. Look, it's the Super Bowl season. Seahawks, Patriots, probably going to be the topic of the next 2 weeks when it comes to the NFL, on top of the head coaching hires, the potential other head coaching hires that happen. So we'll see. We will see. I am a little nervous. I won't lie. I'm a little nervous to see how Jeff Hafley and Sully handle this, but we're going to have to just wait and see. That officially covers everything, I believe. Yes, it covers everything. Honestly, I'm a lot more excited for Hurricanes football than I am for anything else going down in South Florida, aside from maybe the Florida Panthers. Obviously, you got the Miami Marlins season that's going to be starting relatively soon in April. So that's exciting. The Miami Marlins have made some pretty nice moves to hopefully make a bit of a run here in the MLB. Hopefully, maybe make the playoffs and maybe win a playoff series. I will be there. I will be there to support the Marlins. I've been a Marlins fan all my life, so it's pretty sad. Anyway, it's been a very jam-packed week of Miami news, but I really just hope that, like, at the end of the day, that the Miami Dolphins find a defensive coordinator that fits them. I really hope the Miami Heat find a way to turn it around and stop being stuck in the play and go on some sort of win streak, bro. Like, if they go on any kind of win streak, I kid you not, they'll be out of the play-in. I don't want to be in the play-in. That's the thing. I don't want to be in the play-in. I hate the play-in. I'm tired of the play-in. The Miami Heat fans are not going to attend the play-in game. I'm sorry. They're not. It will be empty in that arena. It will. We're tired of the play-in. Nonetheless, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please like, please comment, please subscribe. Hype if you're on a mobile device. I am excited for this year. Expect mock drafts and much other things to be uploaded very soon. Podcasts are going to be dropping left and right. Probably once or twice every week I'll be dropping a podcast episode. So the grind will continue. And yeah, like I already said, like, comment, subscribe, hype if you're on a mobile device, excuse me. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Dale.